Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning into my podcast, Xena Life as a Dominatrix. This is episode 48. This will be aired on Tuesday, October 3rd, 2023. Before I begin discussing today's topic, I just want to note that on each and every of my podcast episodes, you'll see a link that states, support the show today. When you click on the link, it leads to my Venmo page, and tips are greatly appreciated, so thank you very much. Today's topic, What the Fuck Is Going On, Part 3. The last What the Fuck Is Going On, Part 2 was aired on, October 4th, 2022, pretty much a year ago. So it's been a year since I've discussed a segment like this. And I just want to because I'm like, okay, what the fuck is really going on? These news stories are pretty much based in the United States and in Canada. And why I'm discussing this is because it kind of makes my blood boil and it makes me angry. And the news makes me angry. And that's why I don't watch the news. But these particular articles are on Twitter, and I'm like, is this fucking for real? Is this really happening? And is this really 2023? What? And some of these are just absolutely unbelievable. But when I see the footage and the photographs, I'm like, oh, it's believable. It really happened. So, let's see. First article. This was, I think, posted about a week ago on Twitter. Why are teachers at this particular school having discussion groups with minors about their biggest turn on? Okay, now what's wrong with that picture? Why would teachers discuss their biggest turn-ons with minors? I could understand if these people are above the age of 18, but still, if they're above the age of 18 and they're teachers, why would you feel the necessity to discuss your turn-ons? I mean, it's really not your students' business. And why in the fucking world are you discussing this with minors? So what's wrong? What's wrong? Keep it to yourself. Who gives a shit about your biggest turn-ons? Why would you want to discuss this with minors in the first place? And they, what city is this in? I believe, this is actually a school in Colorado. And, so the parents that have a teacher like this, I would definitely suggest getting that teacher out of that school, because it's like, what's their motive, And maybe this is from a sex ed class, but is this really appropriate to discuss your biggest turn on to minors? No, it's not appropriate. Seriously, come on. All right, let's see. Article number 2. And there's photos of this. Okay, this is how drag queens dress in front of young children at an all-ages family-friendly drag show. This was in Washington State. So there's 2 photos of this drag queen. I mean, I can understand if she was posing like this or dancing like this in front of adults, but there are children in the background. These children, they look like they're like maybe 3 or 4 years old. And this drag queen is wearing, pasties on her nipples. And panties that ride up her ass. So how is this appropriate? It's not appropriate. It's not appropriate at all. And sure, I love drag queens. They're great entertainment. That's what they do for a living. But to dance in front of a child, 2 children, there's 3 children in the background. What's the purpose? What's the purpose of this? What's the motive of this drag queen? Who's paying this drag queen to do this? All ages, family-friendly drag show. Come on. There's pasties on her nipples. if she were a lot more covered up, maybe dressed as, I don't know, some kind of costume covering up her boobies and her butt, you know. But she decided to expose her boobies wearing these pasties and panties riding up her butt. It's like, why? Why? What's the purpose? You're probably going to give these children nightmares. Who knows? And where the fuck are the parents? That's my question. And if that were happening, maybe the parent should have stepped in and, you know, been like, hey, stop the show, stop this, stop this. Or maybe taken out their child immediately. So what's up with that? And it's just not appropriate. It really isn't. Okay. News article number 3. Scenes from Ottawa right now where thousands of parents and kids are protesting explicit sexual content in schools and radical gender ideology. These protests are absolutely massive and across the entire country of Canada. So there's just footage of these parents, and they have every right to protest, really. And why is sexually explicit material in schools in the first place? Like when I was in high school, I'm just trying to remember reading sexually explicit material given in sex ed, and I really don't remember much. Maybe an image of a penis going into a vagina or something like that. That's just hypothetically speaking, but I've seen the content of some of the footage or photos that are given out to these adolescent children, and it's like, why do they need to know about anal sex or muffing or threesomes or BDSM? And these are like 13, 14-year-olds. Sure, I learned about the term BDSM when I was about 16. But I'm like, I saw the illustrations of these photographs and some of these books. I'm like, wow, that is really explicit material. And why are these teachers giving out this material to such young students? And I'm thinking, I think I talked about this in a previous episode. I thought, like, okay, why did my psychology teacher back then give us articles on Madonna's S&M book or S&M material when we were about 16 years old? I think I was a junior in high school back then at that time, or sophomore. But I was fascinated. I was hooked. I was hooked by the imagery. I was hooked by the terminology. And I wanted to know more, and I did my own research on S&M. So, but this, what I'm trying to say about this particular article is these parents have every right to protest, every right to speak up, every right to protect their children from what's being taught in schools. And, yeah, and that's in Ottawa. Next topic. Next article, I mean. Drag queen teacher at this school, I think in the United States, allegedly told students to search his drag profiles where they were subjected to graphic sexualized content. Okay. I mean, sure, it's, you know, whatever. The teacher's a drag queen by night. But by day, this drag queen is a teacher. And why would this drag queen tell his students to search his drag profile? That's strange. And basically there's a couple images of him in BDSM gear, showing off his ass, wearing a thong. And I'm not sure how old the children or teenagers are. I don't know what kind of teacher. I don't know if he's an 8th grade teacher, high school teacher, or whatnot. But why would this teacher tell his students this? And they found images of him online where he's posing, he's holding a flogger in one hand. So maybe he's a male dom at night or drag queen at night or whatnot. So what I'm getting at is keep your personal life to yourself. Why do you need to tell students this? You know, that's your life. Why? I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, sure, you should, I don't know. I don't know what this person's motive is, but I'm not sure if this person's still employed at the school or whatnot. I mean, sure, it's cool that this person's into the BDSM lifestyle, posing with a flogger, a leather harness, and then the next photo, he's wearing a thong. But why tell your students, oh, search my drag profile online? Why? Why? What's the point, I don't know. I just don't know. And what I'm trying to say is just keep your personal life to yourself. Why tell kids or teenagers this about yourself, Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Some of these stories are just unbelievable, but somebody they commented, leave the kids alone. And it's true. It's like, why tell that about your personal life? I don't know. Yeah. So next story, drag queen sings Suck My Dick and twerks in front of children at a family-friendly Pride Fest in Texas. And there's actually video of this drag queen singing this, video of this drag queen twerking, and there's children in the audience. I mean, like I said, I like drag queens, but that kind of language is inappropriate. Why would you... Sure, I could understand if you're saying suck my dick and twerk in an audience filled with adults, young adults, older adults. But at a family-friendly Pride Fest in Texas, how is this appropriate? Yeah. And like I said, I do like drag queens. They're definitely entertainment. They're beautiful, but singing that in front of children is inappropriate, 100%. And I don't know what this person's motive is or was, but it's not appropriate. And at this same family-friendly Pride Fest in Texas, there was a booth that featured genital-shaped waffles. Okay. And had a booth selling BDSM gear in front of children. So there's actually a image of this booth. Yep, there's BDSM gear and there's children walking around. So I could understand BDSM gear being sold at a fetish convention, a leather convention, a BDSM convention, but in front of children, inappropriate. Yeah. And why was this person invited, or this booth or company invited to this festival knowing that there's children there? I'm not sure. Maybe to make some money, but it's inappropriate. And yeah, that just reminded me that in New York, I think that, yeah, this was pre-pandemic. I want to say 2019, this was in Union Square, and this booth had, they were selling dildos, and then there was a contest, and it was like a throw the rings on the dildo contest, and this was in broad daylight in public. I don't remember any kids around, but I just remember like, oh, why are they selling a bunch of dildos in public like that? And it was where, if you know Union Square, there's a farmer's market on Broadway. And usually, the farmer's market, they sell produce, goods for your home, food, etc. But this booth was selling dildos. I'm like, huh, that's interesting. Now I'm thinking of it. I'm like thinking, that's interesting. Why would they sell their dildos in public, broad daylight? And anyway, the game, you had to toss rings and put all the rings on this dildo, and you win a prize if all the rings goes on the dildo. Yeah, and a friend of mine played the game, and at the time I thought, oh, that's funny, that's hilarious. But now I'm thinking, okay, well, what if there were children around? And how is this appropriate? So, yeah. So anyway, this article in Texas, yeah, this BDSM gear sold in public in front of children, not appropriate. And then, yeah, another topic, another article. This was actually an old story, but they republished this story. This Missouri Department of Health was notified that they're investigating after a Starbucks barista with a diaper fetish filmed himself dispensing whipped cream into his diaper at work. Interesting. So he filmed himself. There's footage of him with a whipped cream dispenser in his backside, filling his backside with whipped cream in his diaper at work. Now, how is that appropriate? It's not appropriate. It's, let's see, Starbucks sells food, they serve coffee, and that is definitely unsanitary whatsoever. And this person was fired from his gig, and sure, I get it. Some people have a diaper fetish. Some people wear their diaper in public underneath their man clothes, underneath their women attire, whatnot. But to display your fetish and film it at work, yeah, no, it's not appropriate. And it's good that this person was let go. Maybe it taught this person a lesson. Maybe it taught them, hey, don't ever work in the fucking restaurant industry and put whipped cream in your in your diaper. Maybe this person was being publicly humiliated via telephone by somebody saying, you're going to do this for me and film it and da-da-da. But this person decided to post this online. And, actually, this happened 3 years ago, not last year. And, yeah, luckily they're not employed at Starbucks, and hopefully they'll never work at Starbucks, because it's like, that's not sanitary. And, yeah. And the image of the whipped cream in his diaper is kind of like, why? There's food, you're serving food, it's just not sanitary. I mean, I'm not, dissing the diaper fetish community, but it's like, why do that in public? And, yeah, why? Public, like at your workplace, that's what I mean. So, yeah. Next story. Okay. This mayor in California received a spanking from a drag queen in front of children at a campaign event. This recently happened. So basically there's footage of this guy. He's bent over, and the drag queen just gives a spanking using a paddle. And there's a child in the photograph right there watching. So, how is this appropriate? It's not appropriate to display any type of BDSM actions in front of a child is not fucking appropriate. What's the motive of this drag queen? I have no idea. Why did this mayor do this? I have no idea. I can understand if this was behind closed doors. But in front of a child, in front of a minor, inappropriate. And this mayor is still the mayor of this city. And at a campaign event, how is this appropriate? It's not appropriate. At a campaign event, you're supposed to be campaigning, not receive spankings. I'm like, how is this real? Is this fucking real? And I played the footage and it was real. And what's, most disturbing is there's a child right there at the event. Why is there a child at a campaign event? They're too young to vote anyway. And why would maybe the parent didn't know that this was going to take place, but why display a spanking, just one spanking? Why display that one spanking in front of a child? It's inappropriate, for sure. And, yeah. Next story. School employees reportedly secretly transitioned a 14-year-old girl and kept it a secret from her parents. Eventually, she ran away from home and was later placed by a public defender in an all-male juvenile facility because her parents weren't affirming enough. There, she was sexually assaulted and later kidnapped, raped, and sex trafficked. That is just, oh my God, it's super heartbreaking. Oh my goodness, it's infuriating. It makes me angry. It's like, this person didn't deserve all this. This person didn't deserve, oh my goodness. And the school employees should be held accountable for this, for sure. You don't secretly transition somebody. Especially when they're 14 years old. They're a minor. They can't, oh my goodness. And how the parents didn't know about this, I'm not sure. I don't know if the parents were definitely in this child's life. Sure, I know that, sometimes a lot of parents are busy, but to have this secretly done to your child, I have no words. It's extremely sad. It's disheartening. Makes me very angry that this person was assaulted, kidnapped, raped, and sex trafficked. So the school employees should be held accountable. School employees, gosh, they should be fucking fired, thrown in jail, their teacher license taken immediately. I don't know what happened to these employees. I don't know if they're still employed, but I'm not sure what city this happened in. I think it's somewhere in the United States, but it's extremely sad. And to secretly do this to a child is sick. They're not your child. What's the motive to these teachers? They, like I said, or employees, school employees. So I'm not sure if they were actually teachers or not. So school employees, it could have been anybody. It didn't say that this person was a teacher actually in the story, but it's still very, very sad. And the parents should definitely sue the school for sure, and hold these employees accountable for what has happened to their child. Yeah, it's really sad. Next story. Some of these stories, like I said earlier, I don't like watching the news because it makes me angry. It makes me like question, like, is this for real? And that's why I call this What the Fuck Is Going On? And I know this podcast is about domination, BDSM, tips, my stories, Q&As and all that, but some of these stories I just can't, like, I can't help but to discuss it. And it's like, is this for real? Is this really happening? It's 2023. It just doesn't seem like these stories are real. But then when you see the images and videos of this occurring, these particular incidences occurring, it's like, wow, that is for real. And it's makes me like say, what the fuck is going on? Next story, Virginia mom sues pro-trans. Let me repeat that. Virginia mom sues pro-transgender teachers for pushing her child into prostitution. This is not okay. Not okay. Personally, I'm pro-transgender, pro-trans, pro-drag queen, but to push the child into prostitution is not okay whatsoever. And this mom has every right to sue these particular teachers. What's the motive here? Why would they do such a thing? I don't know. I have no idea. A lot of these people need a serious background check for these particular stories that I've read so far. They need a serious background check. And why would this person push the child into prostituting themselves? It's not okay. I'm not sure how old this particular child is, but it's not okay. It's not okay to control the life of a child that's not even your fucking child. How is that okay? And the mom, yeah, like I said, the mom has every right to sue. And as teacher, I'm not sure if the teacher is still a teacher. Personally, I don't think this teacher should be a teacher. And it's not okay. It's not, yeah, it's not okay. Just, yeah. Next story. Let's see here. Oh, I believe I've read this story before. I didn't read it on the podcast, but I read it and I'm like, interesting. So this teachers union rep in Florida wearing the I'm Here Safe Space badge. So this badge is given to the teachers by the NEA. I don't know what the hell that means. And provides resources for anal sex, bondage, fisting, and all kinds of extremely graphic sexual content. This is what the people in charge of your kids' education are pushing onto them. So this caucus, this LGBT caucus, created a website and badge for public school employees that promotes a how-to guide for anal sex, bondage, rimming, domination, S&M, muffing, and fisting. And there's actual proof of this. I mean, I could understand if these guides were given to people that are over the age of 18, but why are there guides for anal sex and rimming and fisting? That's, jeez. I have no words. I have no words. It's just, I mean, sure, I talked about earlier sex ed. I mean, sex ed is important, but to teach about fisting and rim jobs, and I mean, that's pretty graphic, I must admit. But to teach minors this and show minors this type of material is inappropriate. It's just my personal opinion. And why is there I don't know. I could only say why, but what I have no idea. I got nothing. No, I do have something. Some of these teachers, I don't know, maybe they think that they're doing their job, but it's like, why are you teaching minors this? Actually, yes, this was an article from September of 2022. Maybe I discussed this in my previous podcast, but I'm like, how is this appropriate teaching minors about fisting and anal sex and bondage, S&M? Like I said earlier, I was given an article about S&M when I was 16, and I learned myself on the topic and the lifestyle and but rim jobs and fisting, that's pretty extreme in my opinion. So yeah, I'm kind of speechless because I'm like, why is this caucus have a oh, this is in Ohio actually. Why is there an actual website and badge for these public school employees that promotes these how-to guides? Why? Just why? Sure, I could understand. I mean, like I don't know. I'm kind of speechless. Just like some of this is very graphic, and some of this does not need to be taught in fucking school to minors. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, the last topic. After this, I'm going to have to take a breather because some of these topics are like, news stories, I mean, are like, what the fuck? Crazy. Okay, there's this kids TV show in the Netherlands called Simply Naked, where adults get naked in front of children. Fuckers. In this episode, a transgender got undressed in front of 10 and 12-year-olds. So I know this is in the out in Europe, in the Netherlands, but how is this appropriate? It's not appropriate. It's not appropriate to show your genitalia, to show your fully naked self in front of minors, in front of children. It's not appropriate. And I know Europe is definitely different than the States, but there's actual footage of this child looking very confused and uncomfortable. It's like, okay, where's the kids? Or where's the parents, I mean? Where's the parents of these children? Why are they putting their child on public display on television? Yeah. So to blame, I would blame the fucking parents for exposing their children to such nudity like that. I would blame the TV network, the show, and the transgender. Why do you feel like it's a need to show yourself? It's no. Sure, I understand if you were showing your naked self in front of an adult, but to children, inappropriate. Yeah, it's just like, and I saw the footage and I had to like turn it. I'm like, I just immediately got angry because I'm like, this poor kid, just innocent, young. They don't need to see your junk. They don't need to see your naked self. Keep that shit behind closed doors. I mean, sure, there's public nudists, there's public nude beaches, but they're for adults only. So what I'm trying to say is this should be adults only, not in front of 10 and 12-year-olds. It's not appropriate whatsoever. So think I'm done here. That was the last article. Got a lot off my chest. Actually, talking about this makes me want to punch a punching bag, and that's okay. And actually, I think I might do that. Might go to the gym. There's a bunch of punching bags on display, and might punch some bags because it feels good to take out that anger. These stories make me angry because these children are innocent. These children don't need to see or to be exposed to such graphic content or to nudity. The transgendered person displaying his nude self, herself, his self should have been arrested. But how they do things in Europe, I'm not really, I mean, it's so different, but I'm not really sure what the laws are in the Netherlands. And that's, yeah, inappropriate. So I hope you all enjoyed, well, maybe sided with me or agreed with me or disagreed with me, whatnot. That's your choice. But these articles I saved because I wanted to discuss them, because I'm like, okay, this is happening present day or last year or 3 years ago at that Starbucks where you're, I mean, sure, you got a diaper fetish, but why put whipped cream in your diaper at Starbucks and film yourself and put it, I think this person maybe put it on TikTok or Instagram, and the story went viral, and it's good that they've been let go from Starbucks. So it's like, if you have a fetish, just don't display it in front of kids. Don't tell kids, hey, look up my drag queen name and I got all this, I don't know. Yeah, I'll stop. I'll stop. I think you get the point, maybe. But thanks for tuning in and hearing what I have to talk about on this particular podcast, episode 48. This will be aired tomorrow, Tuesday, October 3rd. And again, I have a link that states support the show today. The link leads to my Venmo page. Tips are greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a great day.